Season live, everybody. Welcome. And I thought I didn't do transfer talk last week because I was ill. So didn't really fancy it. So we've got everything from the last 2 weeks here. And there's a lot. There is a lot. Where we are going to start is with the scholars. The scholars have been confirmed. So they are the following. You can see some of them there, obviously been in training and stuff. That's the first shot we've got of the club jackets as well. Looking pretty nice training gear there. But anyway, these are the squad, the new additions to the under 18s. 12 of them. So let's have a look. Ramel Carter is the big one. He's the one who catches eyes and what have you already, despite only signing in the under 16s. He's got his scholarship now for the under 18s. I'm excited to see some of him play. I haven't seen him play yet. Caden Cole is another one. I'm not sure if he's of any relation to Carlton, with him being West Ham related, but he's a young centre-half. Another young centre-half. First joined us at under 9 level, Oscar Gruzkowski. Jake Hopper signed him from QPR. This one was what I was going to talk about earlier, Zach Jagielka. So it was first reported last week that he was on trial with the academy and was going to continue that trial in Turkey. They've ended the trial early, said, you know what, Zach, you're in. Phil Jagielka, his dad, obviously, spent pretty much his entire career at Everton, only for his son to go and play for Liverpool at academy level. No more. He's here at Hull City. Charlie Leach, centre-back with us from under 14s. Brother, I assume, Rory. No, spelt wrong. Spelt differently. Fullback signed from Man United. We'll talk about fullbacks later on. Alfie Maskell joined us at under 9s. Josh Akea in central midfield signed from Charlton. A lot from all over the place here. Calvin Akike, he featured for the under 18s quite a lot last season. He's a defender from Sunderland. I believe he can play anywhere across that back line. Ruben Silk, again, another one. For joining the club at under 9s, and then Jack Topley coming in from Southampton. So there's a range there. That's the 12 of them. Obviously, the main two. I'm just going to do a tweet now quickly. Sorry, there's a great opportunity for a tweet here, so I'm taking it. I am taking it, and then that was on Zach Jagielka, and then there's Ramel Carter, who is the eye catcher. Do you know what I mean? He's the one who people have spoken about since he signed. Furthermore, will be great to get to see what this lad is about in the 18s and 21s. No doubt. Let's see. Right, done a little tweet there. That'll do. Okay. Those are the scores. I thought that was going to be the first team this season. Well, they might end up playing against Fiorentina. You never know. So the club haven't officially confirmed the 2 friendlies in Turkey yet. The first one is going to be on Saturday this week Don't know who it's against, but it's going to be on Saturday. Then there's likely to be a second one next week, probably Wednesday. I'd say, when will it be? It'll be Wednesday or Thursday, I think. Maybe Thursday, because then that gives the team... If it's on Thursday, the team can train Wednesday, and the fans who are going out to Turkey, of which I am one, this arriving just in time, came in clutch. Of which I am one. So I will be making some content out there in Turkey. Seeing what different things the club put on for us over the course of the 5 days. What I'll probably end up doing is I'll combine day 1, which is travelling, and day 2 into one vlog. Day 3, depending on what... I haven't seen the itinerary yet. I haven't sent it. Day 3 will be its own vlog. Day 4 and travelling home on day 5 will also be its own vlog. I want to, hopefully, when we get to go and see the players train, if that happens, I want to... Well, if that's on the Wednesday, hopefully I can get to chat to a couple of players, and then I can drip feed those interviews through the whole series of vlogs, so that there's a little bit of player content in there for each of you on each day. But that's I'm not going to go any further on Turkey for now, because the club still haven't confirmed the friendlies yet, which is, well, interesting. Very, very interesting. Noah Ohio, by the way, has just done a message to the Hull City fans, saying, "I'd like to say a massive thank you to Hull City, and to the fans for their support towards me. I wasn't at the club for very long, but you all made me feel loved and at home very quickly. Made some fantastic memories on and off the pitch. Loved every moment of it, and I know the club's in good hands and will continue to grow and hopefully back in the Premier League sooner rather than later. Wishing the club and the boys all the best this season. Always believing, Ohio, oh." And I think the fact that's come out now means he was fully expecting to to be a Hull City player again this summer, but he's just signed for FC Utrecht in the Netherlands. Okay, so let's dive into chat. Tommy, good evening. Barbaros, how are you? Theo, how you doing? Good to didn't get Ohio back. Me too. Hi Joe, hope you're good. Thank you, Thomas. Hope all's good as well, mate. A lot of outgoings. Well, yeah. Let's be honest. Robson Coville, we've known about that for ages, though. That's not news. Training gear is better than last season. Embroidered badge. The training gear so far looks exquisite. It looks absolutely incredible. So I can't wait to get my hands on some of it. Hello, Joe. Do you think it's stupid to sell on Giles when we've just bought him permanently? I'll talk about Ryan Giles later in the stream. Those are the scholars. Yeah, Giles did just sign for us permanently. Yes. Gut feeling. Do you think this mystery striker will get the Hull fans thinking, decent signing, or do you think it will get underwhelming reactions? I don't know. I don't know who it is. I'd love to know who it is, but I don't know who it is. Theo, we're not going to talk. We're not going to talk about that. This is a Hull City transfer stream. And although I love my politics, we're not going to talk about politics at the moment. Adrian, don't waste transfer money. Well, that's a big thing, actually. That's a really, really good point. Adrian Summer Window 1 has massively set us back. Now that Ozan Tufan has gone, we have 2 players left who were signed in that window. Seri and Cynic. I'm not counting Simons because we made it permanent later in the season. We have 2 players, Seri and Cynic. We've got Lotta Tyler as well, but he's not played a minute for Hull City yet, technically. So we've got Seri and Cynic, really, haven't we? Seri, ace, love him, cool. Cynic. Well, we'll see. Any ideas who the mystery players will be? Shall we talk about that rumour first then? So, we will talk about that striker first. We'll talk about the right back and the striker first. Okay. So, going to come in this week. The club trying to push them through to get them done tomorrow, to either announce tomorrow or to get done on Wednesday in the early hours so they can fly to Turkey and be part of the camp for the whole time. According to Baz Cooper, an unnamed striker and an unnamed right back in this week, both with championship experience, both on permanent deals. That's the key. Now, I think I've got a pretty good guess as to who the right back is. Has anyone else got any right back guesses? Because for the striker, I haven't got a Scooby. The striker, I don't have a clue who it is. I know for a fact it's not Zangela because he hasn't got championship experience. It's not Zangela. Baz has confirmed it's not Jella. It's not all loans. These are 2 permanent signings. And yes, we have been linked to Lugano striker Zangela, but this striker is not him. My guess for the right back is Cody Drama. That's my guess. If you don't know who Cody Drama is, let me show you. This is Cody Drama. Just been released by Leeds. Got promoted at Luton this time a year ago. Leeds then didn't let him go to Luton and they signed Issa Kabore, then panicked and just had to get him out to Birmingham quickly. Drama, he was offered a new contract by Leeds at the end of the season, but they couldn't agree one, so he is now a free agent. I think it's Cody Drama, which would be a phenomenal signing on a free. Should be at the top end of the division, but he got a terrible loan move last season to Birmingham. He's a brilliant player. Great competition for Coyle. Both of them could do a job at left back if we need them to, but we shouldn't have to. Cody Drama is who I think it is at right back. As for the striker, like I say, I haven't got a clue. It's on a permanent, so I think that rules out Jay Stansfield. And Stansfield, if he is, we were linked with him. I discussed this a few weeks ago. If Jay Stansfield is to come in, hold that thought. If Jay Stansfield is to come in, he is going to be later in the window. At the minute, Marco Silva seems pretty adamant that Jay Stansfield will stay at Fulham this season. Which I don't think is the best thing for him because he's only had 1 season out in the Championship. Should have been at a lot better team than Birmingham and had a brilliant season in spite of all of Birmingham's struggles. Had a great season, did Jay Stansfield. He's one City are looking at. He's one City are looking at. But it won't, I very, very, very much doubt it will be Jay Stansfield at this early stage of the window and on a permanent deal. Although Delap was at Ipswich a couple of days ago, could it be him? No, absolutely not. A Premier League club getting involved immediately means that's it for us. Simples. It will not be Liam Delap. Simple as. It won't be Liam Delap. So that is out the way. And I've already discussed other people have said Zangela, not an imminent incoming. That one is just a rumour. I've typed that wrong. That one's just a rumour. The striker is not him because he has never played in England before. I discussed this next one. We're doing this backwards, really, aren't we? Because there's more to talk about with players going out. James McConnell. Young Liverpool central midfielder, 19 years old, was one of the Klopp kids that played in the Carabao Cup final last year, did really well. Quote from Hull Daily Mail, and Baz Cooper wrote this. The club remain hopeful of striking a deal to bring 19-year-old midfielder James McConnell on loan from Liverpool to the MKM this summer. Central midfielder, different profile to Morton in terms of the experience he's got. He's not been out on loan already, but I'd like to see us get that deal done. But I think it's one we're going to have to wait for until Arne Slot has got his feet under the desk at Liverpool. Feet under the desk at Liverpool properly. They are those two done. Okay, so the next one, next little rumour is someone you guys have probably never heard of, Alfie Gaston. Alfie Gaston. So, a lot of you have probably sat there thinking, Joe, who the bloody hell is that? I am too, to an extent. According to Belfast Live, City have reportedly bid £150,000 for 16-year-old Coleraine central midfielder Alfie Gaston. He made his debut for them when he was just 15. He'll come over here and won't be able to sign a pro contract until he's 17. He turns 17 in October. We're not the only one who's bid for him, but that's one to maybe watch this space on. Exactly. But watch this space. He might end up being another Ramel Carter, who we look at in the academy and think, wow, he's doing well. Do you reckon because Adjun's now involved in 3 clubs, he's not as focused on... I don't think it's just an Adjun thing. It is the whole team he's got underneath him. The, quote, football brain team, unquote, TM. Anyway, striker suggestion, Robert Glatzel was at Cardiff, played under Tim Walter at Hamburg. If it's Robert Glatzel, I'm going to be honest, I am a little bit miffed. I am just a little teeny tiny bit annoyed because his record at Cardiff was shambolic. He wasn't very good. 11 goals across 2 seasons. If he's going to come in and probably be our first choice striker, yes, he's got championship experience, but his experience of the championship wasn't very good. So if it's Robert Glatzel, yes, Walter knows him and what have you, and I'll trust it. I'll give him a go. I'm happy to give him a go. But if Robert Glatzel walks through that door as this striker with championship experience, I am just a little bit annoyed. That's because that's nothing against him. He might flourish under Tim Walter's system. But in terms of championship experience, there are so many better strikers out there. And, you know, he's 30 years old. Hamburg's the only place he's been where he scored 15 plus goals season after season after season. It's the only place he's been. He scored 21-22, he scored 27 in 41. 22-23, he scored 19 in 37. And 23-24, to be fair, 16 in 25. Let me just put my watch on silent, sorry. Come on. There we go. But yeah, you look through the rest of his career. When he got into his stride at Kaiserslautern, came through their academy into the Zweite Bundesliga. His first full season, 4 goals in 19 games, not bad. Then he moved to Heidenheim, 7 in 32, 17 in 29 is not too bad, to be fair. But then Cardiff, 8 in 35, 3 in 23. Mainz, 13 games, 2 goals on loan from Cardiff. Hamburg is the only place he's been where he's looked like a consistent goal scorer. So, yeah, he's not one I'm super excited about, Robert Glatzel, to be honest. If he's going to bring a player from Hamburg, I'd rather him bring Laszlo Benes, to be honest. Next on my list, which one shall we go for next? We'll go for, have I spelled that name right on the sheet? Leon. Okay. Rumour today, according to Ben Jacobs from Give Me Sport and Talk Sport, we're interested in 18-year-old Wolves striker Leon Chiwome, but he's expected to be assessed by Wolves in pre-season first. On the whole, know nothing about that lad, so I'm not really fussed. Final one is one I would be quite fond of if it happened. Kalidou Sidibe, a defensive midfielder currently playing for Ligue 2 side Guingamp over in France. City are according to Cameroon Web Info, a source over in France, which looks at French players with African heritage mostly, I think. City are in talks with Kalidou Sidibe. Blackburn are also interested. Defensive midfielder. There's one reason why I want this deal to come off. He's 6'7". Imagine having that brute in midfield alongside Seri. That would be like the ultimate little and large combo. I don't care. Get him in. Get him in. Get him in. Get him in. I think that'd be... I don't care if he's any good or not. Having that presence in midfield... I don't care if he's a donkey or whatever. Get him in. Get him in. Okay. So that is all the in rumours done. We'll go to the 2 confirmed signings we've had in the past 2 weeks now. Excuse me. George Dickinson and Noah Wadsworth for the under-21s. Dickinson, central midfielder, coming following the end of his time at Sheffield United. Noah Wadsworth was fairly highly rated at Bradford, but was let go, and we have snapped him up. Know nothing about them, to be honest, but that's what we've got. That's what I've got on them at the moment. Next thing I want to just talk about quickly is some news on this man. Oscar Estupiñán. There will be news on his potential return from loan in the not too distant future, guys. He's, well, Baz Cooper said today, because I said to him, Baz, is there any update on Oscar coming back from loan? The skeptic in me thinks the striker we're close to signing is just him coming back from loan. Baz says, obviously, it's not him, but there will be news on that in the near future. So, Oscar Estupiñán could be coming back. Let's get on to some confirmed outgoings now. Ryan Woods released him this time a week ago. He's gone to Exeter. That's, in reality, no big loss, is it? We've cut his wage bill. What else can we ask? Good luck to him at Exeter. Harry Wood has also left permanently and gone back to Shelburne, where he spent some time on loan. Shelburne were buzzing to get that deal done, so good luck to him out there. And this one, just a little update on this one, because it turns out there was a fee agreed. Ollie Green, you know how much I love Ollie. He has gone to Livingston in the Scottish Championship, but because he's under 23, it wasn't just the freebie, and the club actually confirmed that they have received an undisclosed fee from Livingston as essentially the compensation it would cost to take an under-23s player who's just been released across the border. So, Ollie Green, good luck to him in Livingston. Yeah. He's a top lad. He'll be just fine out there. He'll be just fine. We'll start slowly with the rumoured outgoings. With Jason Lakilo, it is expected that he will leave this week. Turkish sources a few weeks ago said he was linked with, he was in talks with Ahmedspor. That's the same club that Adama Traore went to, who's just left us. And the same source that broke the Adama Traore to Ahmedspor deal also first reported this one. So I think that is Lakilo's likely destination. Following on from that, another one likely to leave this week is Ryan Longman. Shame, because I love the man. He's been linked by various sources this summer already to Derby, a return to Millwall where he was on loan last season. Wrexham, Birmingham, and other Championship clubs are apparently all interested in him. Both him and Lakilo leaving will be permanent outgoings. So, let's talk about the main two now, shall we? I've kept you going for half an hour. These are obviously what you've been waiting for. Or shall we do Ryan Giles first? Let's do Ryan Giles first, shall we? Because that's its whole thing. For Giles, right? Signed him a few weeks ago. 3-year deal, option of a 4th. Booyah. Cool. Thought we'd beaten off that interest from Middlesbrough. We have not. Baz Cooper has said today, quote, talks remain ongoing over Ryan Giles' future amid strong interest from Middlesbrough. This is weird. Rewind the stream a little bit. We've spoken about him. Kalidou Sidibe. We've spoken about him. Possibly one of the players who struggled, then went away, got better, will do well. That's Glatzel, yeah. We're going to buy loads of Adjun leading rubbish buys. Let Walter buy the players. Robert Glatzel would be a Tim Val to buy, definitely. Me and my mate think it could be Tosun. Cenk Tosun Hasn't got championship experience. Is Ingram staying? Don't know yet, Jeff, unfortunately. The striker, Craig thinks it will be Chris Willock. I think he would fall under the winger category, personally. But he's one I can definitely see us going back in for. Anyway, Ryan Giles. Signed, cool. Not cool. It looks like the talk of him signing then going has some legs, which is strange. Very, very strange. Strong interest from Middlesbrough. To be honest, right, I think the whole reason this has come about is because we've realised, well, first of all, I think it's pretty clear now, and I'm going to say this for those of you who might not have picked up on it, although the club said it was an option to buy Ryan Giles, it was quite clearly an obligation to buy him. Quite clearly. So, I think we've triggered that obligation. And now we're in a position where either Giles knows Middlesbrough are interested and would rather go back there, or we've realised we can't afford him, so have to move him on straight away. To be honest, I'm not sure what to make of this one. It is interesting that when Liam Rosenior was sacked, Adjun did say that bringing Ryan Giles back permanently, he called Giles our player in that interview with Mike White on Radio Humberside. So he was a priority to bring back. It's, yeah, interesting. But this is the thing. Adjun said we're not sailing close to the win for FFP. We are. Not all of the Philogene Greaves money can be reinvested as transfer budget. It can't. We're sailing too close to the wind. We need savvy buys and loans again. But we've just got a little bit of cash from Philogene and Greaves that we can plug into places and help us get deals over the line. Well, this is where we are. This is where we are. For Ryan Giles, look, it's it's a shame if he goes, because we never got to see the best of him, and we know that the best of him is in there. Just a different system needed to get the best out of him, because Rosenior's system just didn't let him have as much freedom as he would have perhaps have liked. But it's a shame. It's a shame. But back to Adjun saying stuff that's just clearly not true in terms of FFP. I think there's a reason we've not heard too much this summer already. And that's because the club want to keep everything close. They've seen the catastrophic effect that Adjun being very public has had this summer. So they want to keep everything under wraps until the very last moment, I think. And to be honest, we talked about this on the podcast last night. I'm getting a little bit fed up, really, of Adjun just saying things and then being, quite obviously bollocks. Complete nonsense. So he does need moderating slightly. I love that he's passionate. And that's something that we should be happy with, I suppose. But if you look at even the Allsop thing and saying Noah Ohio should have played more and whatever, it's all right to think that, but as the owner of a football club, when you're criticising the performances of Ryan Allsop at a public forum, you have to be very, 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 very careful with how you express it. And you have to express that sentiment and your feeling in a different way. quick water break. Let's do it, shall we? Nearly confirmed outgoings. Jacob Greaves and Jadon Philogene. It's expected that Philogene will join Greaves at Ipswich. According to Baz, the figure, which was initially reported at 30, then 35, the figure is, quote, close to £40 million, and the deal includes, quote, again, sizable sell-on clauses. Well, the initial 30 million would have been us getting robbed. 35 million, still a little bit. 40 million, that fee for the both of them is about fair. That's fine. That's fine. Jacob Greaves has had permission to go and have a medical. I think he had that either yesterday or today. So it's expected that Greaves' outgoing will be confirmed before the players fly to Turkey. Philogene not far behind, but there's still a little bit more work to do. But Ipswich and Hull City firmly believe that the double deal will get done. From a City side, been reported this afternoon by the Daily Mail that Everton have had a bid accepted. That's been rubbished by Baz, who's obviously a lot closer to Hull City than the Daily Mail are. But yeah, Jadon and Jacob look like they're on their way. And look, it's two we expected to go, Greaves especially. But it still hurts. Greaves especially. But hey, that's football. That's football. Players move on, things change, flowers die. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. Greaves hurts way more than Jadon because he's one of our own. And he's played, what, how many games has he played for us? You know, he's played a hell of a lot of games for us as Jacob Greaves. Legacy number is 1,087. He's played 177 times for Hull City, scoring 6 goals. Only 4 of those appearances from the bench. He played every minute of the championship season in 2021-22. What a player he is. I'm in a privileged position where I can say I've got to know Jacob over the last 5 or 6 years, and off the pitch, the bloke is a gentleman. He's a first-class man. Easy to get on with, chatty, kind. Yeah. I had a conversation with him last week and we were just talking about life and how his summer was. Ended up talking to him about my prom and how we had 2 maths teachers with us in a club until like gone 1 a.m. and one of them having a lot of Jaeger, and exclusive from Jacob Greaves, he hates Jaeger. Yeah, he's a top bloke, and it's going to be a shame for on a personal level, my good relationship with him to end. But equally, when you speak to him, you understand just what a sort of a nice, driven individual he is. Even last week, he came out the training ground. There's all this speculation. He speaks highly of the gaffer, Tim Walter, and says he's excited to get going and see the tactical side and what have you. So, yeah. I mean, we talked about a hell of a lot more as well, but I'm gonna leave that there. But no, he's a top bloke, and he deserves every success that comes his way. Ipswich giving it a real go, and with Jacob Greaves especially, I really hope they manage to stay up, because Jacob Greaves makes a success of himself in the Premier League. Jacob Greaves is in the England squad for the 2026 World Cup. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Absolutely no doubt at all. What a player. What a player. What a person. Good luck to him. Yeah. Greaves and Philogene going to be on their way. I think we're going to expect about 10 permanent players to come through the door. And then the rest, to make up the rest of the squad, will be a couple of loans again. So we've got about 30 days, 31, 32 days until our first game at home to Bristol City. Yeah. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how this window goes. And I'll be with you every step of the way. I know I've not done any reporting on the Woods and the Tufan because, well, I was going to film the Tufan video, then the Giles transfer happened. Then I went out and got very drunk at my prom and was thus quite hungover and tired the next day. And then I was ill. So I haven't really done it. And now that time's gone to report on the Tufan one with its own individual video. So, and then when the Ryan Woods and Harry Wood deals happened both on the same day, I was ill as well. So that sort of left me struck down. And I don't know enough about George Dickinson and Noah Wadsworth to do dedicated videos on them. It's not like with the players who came in on trial for the 21s last summer, where I knew Nathan Tinsdale, Raj Pallett, Joe Johnson, AJ Weston. I knew a little bit about them. I'd seen them. I didn't see any trialists at the back end of this season. I think the only one I saw was Lewis Latona, who, he was there from Aberdeen. He was meant to be coming in, but there's nothing on that yet. So I'm going to do, actually, on that, let me write him down. Lewis Latona from Aberdeen. I'm going to send some texts and make some phone calls now and try and see where that's at. So, yeah, that was Transfer Talk this week, everyone. Thank you for watching live. Yeah, take care. See you all later. Up the Tigers. Goodbye. I did that.